In codependence, there's more of a tendency in a family that's addiction prone to have rigid roles that don't help the kids develop, they help the parents maintain their sanity. I just had someone say today, that a couple of days ago, she had to say to her son, who's the hero, I've just got to go. I'm going to be gone for a couple of days. I'll be back. You have to run the family. So that role works well for her, but probably not as well for the parentified child. And it's all aimed at reducing pain. Codependence is kind of the other side of the dependence. The codependent is kind of dependent on somebody having a problem. I think everybody was amazed when systems theory came in and how often people who would marry somebody who were dependent have lots of problems and the person would die or they get a divorce or something. Who would they remarry? Go ahead. Yeah, the same kind of person. Yeah, because that fulfilled that need. That need to be taking care of somebody who's not quite as capable. So here's the sitch. That you walk into as a treator, just to give you a sense of the power of all this stuff. So the person's in pain. They've got their substance to protect them. They've got the family roles all worked out, maybe the codependent. So they're pretty resistant. I mean, in one sense, they have it worked out, and you want to come along and upset their boats. Remember that Woody Allen thing where he said his wife was so immature that she would come into the bathroom and sink all his boats when he was in the bathtub? So that's what you're trying to do, and of course, there's a little resistance. So if someone calls you up and says, hey, I want to admit it, I got a problem with something. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they just tell you they need to see you. Quick assessments. This is the classic opening door, and that's how I think of it. You just open the door. You don't have to force anybody to do anything. But a lot of people want to talk about the addiction. They're thinking, I should talk to somebody about this. So you can often just ask, is so-and-so a problem for you? Whatever it is. Substance or behavior. Some people, are gambling in Vegas. That's apparently a big problem. Robert Hunter, I think, is a gambling specialist over there and pretty busy. So it could be behaviors, it could be substances, but you just want to ask, is that a problem? And I think, Michael Yapko, it's not on here, but he talks a lot about how you put things. You always want to put things in an inviting, supportive way. Not accusative or oppositional. So it's just going to trigger all that fear, this person's going to try to wreck things. If you're suspecting there's something going on, you can ask harder questions. Have you ever had a blackout, or lost friends, ever missed work, been arrested? I should probably bring you this one, have you ever been in a hospital? So sometimes people will say on the first one, no, alcohol isn't a problem, although I have wrecked a couple cars drinking and lost a couple jobs and a couple marriages. But, the defenses, we saw those, how big those get. Because if the defenses fell, they might have to, give up the anesthetic, and now what are you going to do? This is one that's popular with physicians. You can see it comes from NIH, National Institute of Health. Highly recommended. Ever felt you should cut down? Let's see. Have people annoyed you, like the spouse? That's A. Have you ever felt guilty about your drinking? Have you ever taken a drink and needed an eye opener? So that's CAGE. And the scoring, really, if there's one yes, probably that's a little bit of a red flag, and everybody ought to be going, well, maybe we should take a look at this. Remember the what do you call that? Not the microscope, the magnifying glass, thank you very much. Yeah, it's like if you're not afraid and something comes up that gets your attention, you say, well, let's take a look at this. So 2 or 3 is quite a few.